Hi, my name is Chris Yarrington. I'm a NASM certified personal trainer. Hopefully you're watching this on my website, but if you're not, my website is www.strengthfirstfitness.net. Today I'm going to be talking to you about foam rolling. Also known as SMR or self-myofascial release, foam rolling is one of those activities that a lot of people are a little bit nervous about doing. They always think that they're going to be doing it wrong, or they don't know what the correct form is, and they kind of don't really understand what's going on. So it's basically like a self-deep tissue massage. You're going to use the roller to help get any pesky knots, any tightness out of your muscles, and try and get the muscle back to the length that it originally was. When you're working out, you're tightening those muscles, you're really beating them up, and if they're all tight and compacted like that, you can't get a lot of blood flow to help them heal. So when you stretch, you're doing the same kind of thing, but if you can't really get it with a stretch, it's in a weird location or it's just that tight, self-myofascial release is the way to go. It's used by pro athletes, it's used by regular people on a daily basis. The more you do it, the better it gets, but sometimes I see people doing it in an inefficient way. So I wanted to make this video to help anyone that might have any questions about self-myofascial release. As you may know, this is a roller. You can get different kinds. The ones with the bumps, they're supposed to kind of guide the pressure a little bit better and make it a little bit more of a pinpoint and put a little bit more pressure on certain spots. This roller works too. The only bad thing about these rollers is that as they get worn and they get used, they tend to get a little bit of a dip. They're not quite as efficient, they're not quite as hard. The styrofoam does eventually just kind of break down. Whereas if you have one that's got the inner plastic, basically PVC pipe in the middle of it, those don't tend to break down as quickly. Now, when you're rolling, the biggest thing that I've seen has been that people will roll, but they'll roll super fast. So they'll get onto their muscle and they'll go, okay, I'm rolling like this. Now that may feel good, and in fact, rolling is not supposed to feel good while you're doing it. It might feel good because it's not really doing a lot. It's a deep tissue massage that you want, but you're not sitting on the muscle for long enough to get a lot of that pressure onto the muscle and start decompacting that muscle. So what you want to do is you want to roll kind of fast and find a spot where you might be a little sore. So for me right now, that's my calves. When you're doing that, you want to sit, you want to find a point in your muscle that is sore, tight, it's got a knot in it. You can really feel that as you get onto that piece of the muscle, it's got a lot of pressure and you can feel that muscle is balled up. You find that spot and you sit on it for 20 to 30 seconds. When you do that, it's going to be pressing on the muscle, and it's going to try and get it to basically flatten out like when you're rolling a piece of dough. If after 20 to 30 seconds, it's not fully taken care of, it hasn't released, you didn't feel it kind of relax back out, what you can start to do is for another minute or so, you can move back and forth just like this, keeping the pressure in a specific spot on your muscle, but making sure that you are actually pushing and pulling and pushing along that muscle to try and spread it out, flatten it out, and get that muscle nice and released and relaxed. The other thing that some people don't know is that it's not limited to just being on the floor. A lot of the times when you're trying to get parts in your back, you can't do, it's harder for you to do it when you're on the floor. If you want to get your arm, it's a little awkward, you can't find a spot. So I actually tell people all the time, if you want to get your arm, you want to get your shoulder, you want to get somewhere in your upper body, sometimes the better thing to do is put it on the wall. Now here, I'm on the wall, I can use my arms, I can use my body, and it's not an awkward position. position, I can use the strength of my legs to push into the roller a little bit more, to get a little bit more pressure and strength behind it. But it was so much easier for me to get onto my arm rather than sitting here on the floor going like, oh, I can't seem to get enough pressure. I can't really, now I'm laying on a dirty floor. It doesn't really feel very good. A lot of the time, if you're in a gym, you don't know who's been walking around, you don't want to be laying on the floor, take it and put it on the wall. The other thing to do is to research. Research all the different styles, all the different ways that you can roll. And surprisingly, there's lots of different things you could use. You can use a roller like this. You can use a tennis ball. You can use a lacrosse ball. They make these little peanut-looking things that are 2 tennis balls taped together or 2 lacrosse balls taped together. And they actually help get right along your spine. There's lots of different pieces of equipment that you can use to roll. Anything that's hard and a circular kind of shape, you can use to roll. All right, so that about covers it for my information on the rolling. Just want to help everybody out, make it a good experience for everyone. The more that you roll, the more your muscles are going to be used to it, the easier and the faster you're going to get those muscles to release. So if you're going to do it on a regular basis, and make sure you make it a habit after each and every workout that you do. All right, I hope this was helpful. Please give me any feedback that you have. Thank you.